Hey, welcome back to That Stupid Podcast. It is Tuesday, August the 5th, 2014, and today is Game Changer.
That's right. We're gonna.
Well, it's actually not August 14th.
Well, no, it's not. It's August 2nd. We're drinking. I'm wondering how many more sips of that beer you're going to get before you're like, it's August. Fuck it. I don't even know.
That's the reason I'm going to this as soon as I get done that beer.
So this is all the video game news that you need to know of this week, and I believe you had some to lead off with.
I have a story. I know it's weird because I usually don't have stories, but I totally have a story, and this story is about my most favorite. Okay, that's a lie.
It's
I
everybody's
hate this.
hated company.
Yeah, it's EA. Electronic Arts announced last week that they've got a new subscription service coming.
It's coming. Yeah, it's not out yet.
Well, they announced it last week. I don't know when it's coming. Later this year, I think. Still.
They're talking Q1.
Oh, is it Q1? Okay.
Q4 to Q1.
For $5 a month or $20 a year or $29 a year, $30 a year,
$5 a month.
So you might as well do the year if you're gonna even bother doing this. Do it for the year. You can subscribe to if you're on the Xbox One exclusively right now.
It is exclusive right now.
Because which I'll talk about in a minute. You can just basically subscribe to their entire library. You like NFL, 2K,
it's not
whatever.
Their entire library at first.
Well, yes.
It is the new FIFA game. It's Battlefield 4. It's any of the current existing next-gen EA titles, excluding Titanfall, which they only published, they didn't create.
Right. Yes. Now, and that'll be the case for anything else that they don't create. I have a feeling that will be very, very similar. What's interesting about this is that the surface, it sounds like a very good deal. And if you
also get all the DLC as well.
Right. Because if you are someone who plays these games, if you're a big FIFA player, if you're a Battlefield player with like 5 DLCs for that game now, right?
Yeah, and it's like $80 for the whole DLC pack.
This sounds like a great idea. But if you're Sony USA, you don't think this is a very good idea because EA went to Sony, EA went to Microsoft, and Sony was like, you know what? No, not so much.
Sony decided it was a bad value, and you know what?
It's a bad value.
I think you're wrong. And here's why I think you're wrong.
Okay.
Personally, I don't want this. But I know too many dudes out there who own Xbox Ones, and all they do are play Madden and FIFA and Battlefield 4.
For them, yes, it's completely worth it as long as those games keep getting updated.
And they will. I guarantee it. They constantly do, and they're on a yearly cycle. So
the question is, how long after this? Because they're not going to launch. You don't get them at launch, right? There's a waiting period.
No, I believe it's
going to be at launch.
Access as well.
Ooh, well
so
then all right. Well, if it's early
out,
access,
and you get discounts if you buy the digital version, like if you buy the full digital version of other EA games. You get a discount in a week early.
Okay, well then if that's all true, then it's a good value.
I don't think it's a good value at the same time. Yes, I know I'm arguing against my own point. The thing is, it could be a good value in the future. If EA opens up a back catalog library to these things,
and they better.
That could be huge. Remember all those Burnout games that you like?
Oh,
guess who made those?
Those are EA. Well, they're Crichton.
They're Criterion.
Right.
Who owns Criterion?
Yeah, I know.
EA.
Yeah.
So
because they ruined Need for Speed.
I know that Sony right now is technically a 3-to-1 console mark.
Man,
this quarter,
they're beating the crap out of Xbox.
But that's not including the numbers from the connectless Xbox going forward.
Well,
and they may be beating them up.
Not to mention the fact that most people are waiting on a few games before they buy an Xbox One.
Everybody's waiting on
the
price drop.
I am for one.
This December, all the games coming out in October.
I mean, that's me.
So go ahead. Sony can go out there, but everybody really just wants to play Infamous. I get it. That's fine. No qualms.
Yeah, but the rest of us want to play Halo.
And I'm going to be buying that come November, and I think you're going to see a lot of people buying Xbox.
And that'll be that's my and that in Tekken 7 too, which is next year. But
Sony has never won a November sales contest with Microsoft,
and they won't this year either. I don't think.
Of course they
There's
won't.
too many good. There's too much Xbox.
Yeah, Sony got butthurt about it, and I think that's going to hurt them in the long run. I think the reason they did that is because they're trying to get people to subscribe to their streaming service,
which is horrible.
Now.
That is horrible.
Yeah, not a good value. You want to talk about not a good value?
That is not a good
value.
That is just. I mean, what was it? $9 a month?
They also promised that they would bring your entire they would bring in the PS1 and PS2
That hasn't happened yet.
Well, they're saying it's not going to happen at the moment, and they're only bringing in select PlayStation 3 titles.
God.
So that's fun.
Seriously, Sony? Seriously? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't want backwards compatibility on my next-gen games because I keep my last-gen console.
But what I would like is to be able to buy digital versions. That's why I bought a Wii, so I could play the old 8-bit Nintendo games on the their digital library they had.
That's what I'm saying. So you got anything else for us?
Mostly just that. No, for me that was all I had for game. Well, unless you want to talk Defiance, I could keep talking Defiance.
No, we're not doing Defiance this week.
Sure?
Because I know you're pretty butthurt about it. I
Well-
saw the Facebook posts about you getting murdered and the server lag and just bad news bears.
I've never had lag like that before. I mean, it was so laggy I couldn't even log off the server. It was
All
so
right.
bad.
So I've got an
go
I
ahead.
told you so moment.
You do. You
Yep.
do. I heard about
So
this.
Criterion USA is kind of going tits up at the moment. Basically, they started selling off all their IPs. That's their
Yeah.
intellectual properties. And it's funny because one of those big Crytek IPs that was in development at the moment was Homefront. We talked about last week or the week before that the producer and director had left that project. Well, Deep Silver,
Yeah.
the makers of the last Saints Row, which had been Saints Row 4 and Dead Island, bought out the IP for Homefront and are moving all of the Crytek software people over to Deep Silver in the UK. And they're going to redo the entire game / finish the game and release the game.
Interesting.
So Crytek USA is out. Crytek
alright.
UK still exists, but they're doing nothing but free-to-play web-based games, and I have a feeling they're going under very,
Oh,
very
that's
soon.
yeah. At that point, you're done. I mean,
Now, we talked about Nintendo a lot before.
can I say I told you so?
You
Can
can
I?
say it,
Can
but
I?
go
Can
ahead,
I?
go ahead.
Can I?
Go
Told
ahead.
you. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so.
Even though sales are up for the Wii U based on Mario
They're
Kart and all the other
horrible.
games, they're still
They're
posting
horrible.
a huge loss.
Massive loss.
It's a pretty big loss. Now, mind you, it's still Nintendo money,
Yeah,
so they can
yeah.
do whatever they want to.
Yeah,
And there is rumors of another console coming out, which is pretty quick. At this point,
I think those rumors are just fueled by bad sales.
At this point,
I don't think they're fueled by reality.
Nintendo needs to come out with a new console. I know that sounds bad.
The problem is Nintendo decided
they've got too much invested
5
in
years
the Wii U.
ago that they were not going to compete directly with Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah,
right?
and then they did, or tried.
And then they tried, and that was a
failed
huge
miserably.
that was a huge mistake. If they would stick to the cartoony kind of environments that they're good at, and seriously, they've always been good
And I'm
at.
going to say this, though. I have a feeling the Wii U is going to turn out like the GameCube, where it
I
sold
agree.
before and poorly, but there are amazing games for it.
I do agree with that.
The
I do
GameCube
agree
was
with that.
way under hardware, but there were so many good games.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 never looked better on anything other than GameCube. I'm sorry.
Well, it
it
looks
did-
pretty good on the Wii.
Well,
'Cause
but
you-
again,
It's the GameCube game.
hardware.
I know.
That's-
I know.
So, and the biggest news that I have is China is lifting a huge ban come, I want to say it's September 23rd.
Oh, I don't know about this one.
September 23rd, Xbox One will be the first video game console to be able to be released in China since the PlayStation
Oh my God!
2.
Wow.
And I'm not talking like, oh, PlayStation 2 at the end of its cycle. I'm talking when the PlayStation
Oh,
2
years.
came out, China was like, video games are banned.
Yeah.
And none. No consoles, no nothing. It was all games that were online
Wow,
available or
that's-
PC. They've been a huge PC market. As far as exclusives go, Xbox is pulling over all
I did not
sorts
hear-
of web titles and MMOs to that. We won't get them in America, but something we are getting in America, which is something that nobody thought would ever come out on a console. A lot of people may remember a game called Neverwinter Nights.
I love Neverwinter. That's one of mine right there.
Well, there is a
Is that
game
coming to
called
the-
Neverwinter.
Okay.
And it is based on and kind of like Neverwinter Nights. It is a huge game that's been on the PC market, and it is
Interesting.
now being released
on
on
Xbox.
the Xbox One. That will be released both in China
Huh.
and the U.S.
I could be okay
so
with
I'm
that.
pretty excited about
I
that.
could be okay with that.
With that said, I do kind of want to talk about the whole Sony outselling Microsoft thing.
And not by a little bit.
They did a 3-to-1. It was a 3-to-1
Yeah,
ratio. It
it's
was
a-
pretty bad. It
it's
was
a-
9.1 million
Yeah.
to like 3.65 or something like that. It
Yep.
was not pretty numbers. Now, mind you, this was before the Kinect price drop happened.
Right.
But I want to say that, yes, this looks bad for Microsoft, but I don't think it does. I don't think they're hurting in that market.
No, so and we talked about it at the top of the show a little bit too. You know, come November, I think you're going to start seeing that number go the other direction.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Not only that, but I think that you'll see another price drop, at least a temporary price drop for Christmas, or bundles, and or what you're waiting for, which is a special edition Xbox.
Yes. I'm waiting for the Halo Xbox, basically.
I don't think you'll see a
It's-
Halo one.
No, you will.
I don't know.
They do a Halo one every Xbox.
I think they'll do a Halo one when Halo 5 comes out, but I don't think they'll do one.
No,
for
I might
Master
have to
Chief.
wait until January or February, but there will be one. And it's
That's adorable that you
I
think
know,
that Halo
I
5's
know,
coming
I
out in
know,
January and
I
February.
know.
Halo 5's not coming out until next November.
I know. I'm just trying to.
So that's November 2015.
They'll announce it in February.
Yes, they'll announce it, and then you can get a boner about it.
I'm going to
but
buy 2 of them, aren't I?
Probably. You did it with the
I
360.
did. Actually, you know, I that's not true. I bought like 3 of them.
Oh, good Lord. That's
There
a
are
lot.
there are 3 360s in my house right now.
But I guess really what I wanted to say is a lot of people are claiming, well, the PlayStation runs at higher frame rate. It's got better lines of resolution. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so did the PlayStation 3 when it
PlayStation
launched
3
compared to the
was
Xbox
amazing.
360. Yeah.
Look at the
yeah,
end of
yeah.
launch and beginning of launch for the PlayStation 3. They both, the graphic-wise, there wasn't a lot of advancement there.
Right.
Then look at where the Xbox 360 began and ended, and look at how many DirectX releases came across there. Because Microsoft doesn't necessarily always work on hardware.
Nope.
A lot of it's software and how it's programmed. You think PC graphics go up and get better? Gee, I wonder why that is. Mostly because they're programmed for DirectX and Microsoft product. Guess what the Xbox Live is running?
Yep.
A version of Windows 8. So
Essentially.
DirectX will be literally released
Absolutely.
onto the Xbox One, and stuff's going to start looking even better. Plus, when the cloud processing gets in there, that's the big crackdown thing. Is you're going to be able to completely destroy a huge building and crackdown, no lag, no frame rate drop, no nothing, as long as you're
Yeah, because they're doing compute cluster.
that is correct.
You know, which
And
is
they have huge server farms for this. Huge server farms for this.
Yep. Yep, I know.
So other than that, that's all the news I got for Game Changer.
that's all
You guys
good,
got
man.
anything out there? If you do, you can call us at 480-STUPID-9.
And while you're at it, go ahead and click that subscribe button on the YouTube there, or like us on Facebook.
There you go. Always. Also, don't forget to send us an email if you've got any questions. show@thatstupidpodcast.com.
That's it. And tomorrow is Fan Appreciation Day.
That is Fan Appreciation Day, so we'll be back with that Wednesday, and I think you guys are going to like what we have planned for you.
I hope so. Until then, have a good one.
Deuces.
All right.
All right.
So we're going to shoot Thursday's show next, right?
We're going to do the Fan Appreciation